Okay, so we start with today's lecture. Uh, Today I'm going to teach you the MapReduce programming for MapReduce algorithm for word count problem. Okay, so we're going to see about word count, means frequency of the word in a particular document using MapReduce. How to do that and what is happening in the background. Okay, tomorrow's lecture will be or next lecture will be with the proper algorithm of matrix multiplication. So if you have to perform matrix vector multiplication or matrix multiplication, then how it is done with the MapReduce programming. Okay, that will be there in the today's lecture. Have you understood that today's objective is to learn about basics of MapReduce, which is repetition of some of the concepts which are already done in the previous lecture, plus word count ka algorithm and word count example. Okay, so today's objective is concentrating on word count with MapReduce. And then in the next lecture, we are going to learn about matrix vector multiplication or matrix multiplication. Okay, so let's have a recap about Hadoop architecture. Like here, uh, is this visible to you? This screen, okay. Now, here what happens is that in case of Hadoop, it is an architecture for distributed storage and parallel processing both. So, these are two different steps. The first step is about the storage. First step is about the storage of your big data, and the second step is about the parallel processing of the big data. So, for the storage part, not able to see this. Okay, so we are learning about, we are having a recap of Hadoop, HDFS and MapReduce. There are two questions of, whenever you want to do any analytics with big data, there are two steps. First is the storage of data on the distributed machines and the parallel processing. Storage ke liye we are using HDFS, okay, that I have already told you. Suppose if a client has an application or a big file which contains like ABC as a blocks. Then he submits the file to the Hadoop system. Then Hadoop has a component called as name node and data node. Name node is a master, data nodes are the slave nodes. Name node has the metadata information. By consulting with this, referring this metadata information, name node divides the file into chunks. Like here, three chunks are created, and it gives this information to the client. Client uh, establishes the TCP/IP connection with the data node 1, and he sends the block A to data node 1. Block A will be stored at data node 1. Data node will contact to data node 2, and it will create the replica of A on 2. Data node 2 will contact to data node 5, which and the replica is created on 5. 5 will send the acknowledgement to 2, and data node 2 will send the acknowledgement to data node 1, which will again send it back to the client application, and it will give the signal to the name node that successfully the blocks are copied, and the name node will update the metadata information. So this is the first part where the storage is happening. So like this, all the blocks are stored. Okay, so for storage part, HDFS is a component of Hadoop which is useful. Now for parallel processing, and this shows the heartbeat signals to identify any failure of the node. And for name node, there is a secondary name node where the backup is stored. Okay, so this is about HDFS. Now, in case of MapReduce, what client is doing is that client is writing the program. This program is in the form of Java or Python language, and this file is already, we are assuming that the file is already stored. Now, for the parallel processing, with the client application, this client submits the job to the Hadoop cluster. That job is received by the job tracker. Job tracker and task tracker, these are the components of MapReduce. This everything I've told you in the previous lecture. Okay, I'm just reminding you. What happens in the second process of parallel processing is that the client is writing any application in Python or Java, and he submits the application along with the data name or the file name, like feedback or text file as an input file. to the cluster. In the cluster, MapReduce component may job tracker is there, which is acting as a master, and there are task trackers which are acting as the slave nodes, slave or worker nodes for the job to perform the task. So job is your job, which is a program which is containing a mapper function and reducer function and a driver function or your main program, and that is submitted to the job tracker. Job tracker will consult with the name node about the feedback.txt file, and it will come to know that there are three blocks in this file and they are stored on this particular data nodes or these machines. So it will initiate the task tracker. Okay, it will initiate the task tracker on these three machines, DN1, DN3, and DN5. It will initiate the task tracker and it will give the instruction to the task tracker, and it will transfer the computation, means it will transfer your map function to that machine, and it will ask the task tracker to execute the task. So mapper is a task, or reducer is a task defined by the programmer. So set of instructions are written by the programmer. They are transferred here, and the job tracker is asking task tracker to execute the task on the data which is there in this machine. So this mapper is acting on A. This mapper on DN3 is acting on block B, and mapper on DN5 is acting on block C. Okay, so this way the mapper is started. After mapper is done, the output of the mapper is the intermediate code. Or even it will decide about the reducer, that on which machines the reducer is to be executed. So it will take this function of reducer and it will also transfer this reduce function on selected computers or selected machines, and it will instruct the task tracker to initiate the reduce task once the output of mapper is ready. Okay, so after that, when all these three mappers they start in parallel, working parallelly. So all this is the same set of instructions executing on these blocks in the parallel way at the same time, and the output is generated. That output is called as the intermediate output, which is always in the form of key and value pair. So suppose these keys are created here. I'm just writing the example as key one, K1, K2, K3. So these keys are generated and the corresponding values are there. So every mapper will generate the intermediate code, that is intermediate key and value generator, value pairs. These keys are generated, they are stored on that local storage. Once all this input is ready, all the outputs are ready, the this cluster controller of this Hadoop architecture, it will perform the shuffle operation. So group and shuffle is performed by the Hadoop framework. So actually here there are three tasks which are executed: mapper task, shuffler ka shuffle task, and reducer ka reduce task. Mapper and reducer are acting as per the user's definition, and shuffling is done by the Hadoop ka framework. So shuffling is done in such a, if you observe this shuffling is done in such a way that all the same keys are going to the same reducer. So here for this reducer, from here all K1 keys are shuffled here. All the K1 keys from the block B, then K1 key from the block C is shuffled, and all the same keys are going to the same to one reducer. All same keys are going to the same reducer, and then the reducer. So it is deciding here, like it is just a runtime decision by the framework, like how to shuffle the task, and depending on the load on the machine and reducer ka capacity. And then here in this case, K1 and K2 are going to this reducer. Here K3, K4, and K6 is going to this particular reducer. And now reducer is acting on this intermediate output of mapper, that is acting as input to reducer, and it performs or it creates the output, which is the final output. Now if the output is small, then you may need only one reducer, but if the output itself is also a large, then it is also stored in a distributed fashion, but it is accessed sequentially. And the file is suppose output.txt file, and it is stored in part format. So part 0, part 1, part 2, like this it is stored. Now it is here creating K1 is equal to 4, because the total value of K1 is 4. There are 4 values, 4 ones are there. So like this, each and every task is in the form of a mapper and reducer and keys and values in case of map reduce. Okay. So this was a recap of the previous lecture. So today I am concentrating on MapReduce, and this is my objective, like why MapReduce is needed. To improve the performance of mapper, we can use combiner. So what is combiner and how it works, and then we will see the example of or algorithm of word count. Okay, about the MapReduce. MapReduce is a very important topic. uh, MapReduce is a very important topic. In the exam, always there are questions on MapReduce. Like at least two questions are there. Or one question is so definitely dedicatedly on MapReduce is there, where you have to write the algorithm and you have to explain how it is working. Okay, so I can say that approximately 20 marks of syllabus is there on MapReduce. Okay, so today's objective is about understanding mapper, reducer, and combiner with respect to the example of word count. Means I want to find out the frequency of word occurring in a document and see the algorithm for it. मतलब you have to write down the pseudo code. Okay, writing code in the particular language is difficult. Without any reference, we cannot write these programs. Okay, so in this architecture of Hadoop, if you observe and recollect, there are two different layers: HDFS layer and MapReduce layer. HDFS layer में you are having name node and data node, and MapReduce में you are having job tracker and task tracker. The job is the entire job that you want to perform, and it is divided into three tasks: mapper, shuffler task, and reducer task. And name node and data nodes are responsible for storage of the data, and job tracker and task tracker are responsible for execution of this task in a parallel way. Okay, so these points you need to remember about Hadoop always, that it is a framework for large scale data distribution, distributed storage and processing. Then it uses the scale out approach, means you can go on increasing the machines, even you can easily scale down the infrastructure if you don't need. Then co-location of data and computation are residing at the same place, and there are multiple small components which are having well-defined interfaces. For example, here all these are components and these are the programs which are running on these machines. Name node is a process running on this machine. Data node is a process running on this particular data nodes. Okay, so these are the small components which are having well-defined interfaces, and it manages inter-process communication. IPC is extensively used, and the communication is happening between different processes, and the Hadoop framework is taking care of that. Programmer don't have to worry about it. Even it handles all the failures in the background, and programmer don't have to worry about the race conditions, or data starvation or processing pipelines or partitioning or distribution. You just have to focus on writing the application and business logic. Okay. So any doubt till now? Am I going too fast? Because I'm just giving you the recap of what is done in the previous lectures. I don't know how many of you are attending it properly. So is there any doubt till now? Till now, what we have studied is about HDFS and MapReduce का basic things. HDFS में storage होता है, MapReduce में mapper and reducer job execute होता है, and shuffling is done by the framework. So please reply me on chat those who are alive.
No, ma'am, no doubt.
Okay, so we'll go ahead then. Uh, Okay, so now these are the four core components. Common libraries: HDFS, Yarn, and MapReduce. And in the new versions of Hadoop, 128 MB is also is a block size. Sometimes somewhere some versions they are mentioning 128 MB as a block size, but as per the textbook it is 64. Okay, so MapReduce is a Google's programming model. MapReduce is a Google's programming model that is based on sorting and merging operation. And now but it is extensively used by Yahoo, Amazon, and IBM. Okay, it is a new software stack or high-level programming system which provides APIs to the programmer, so that programmer can write down the program in any high-level language like Java. Um, but it is developed or it uses the functional programming language Lisp concepts. Okay, there is a AI language that initially when AI was at its basic level that time. These two programming languages were famous for AI, Prolog and Lisp. So Lisp is using list extensively. It is a list processing language where lists are used and the keys and values are there. So everything about MapReduce is using this concepts of this language. So which is naturally parallel. Naturally, it can be executed in a parallel way across different machines. So this helps in doing the parallel processing. Okay. So in case of map task, it may perform sometimes splitting of the file and then mapping. And reducer may at the reducer, but shuffle is done by the framework. Shuffling and reducing is done. Okay. So we can use these languages Java, Python, Java, C++, Ruby to write these MapReduce programs. Otherwise, if we are using the tools which we have seen in the ecosystem, like Hive, then Hive is going to convert everything into MapReduce. Okay, but we are going to use Hive as a tool. So we don't write MapReduce programs in that case. We write Hive commands, and Hive that commands are internally executed by the Hive compiler into mapper and reducer. But right now I'm talking about only MapReduce, which programming you can do it by using Python and Java. That's a famous language. Okay, then input to every phase is a key and value pair, and the output of the previous step is acting as an input to the next step. So everything is in the form of keys and values. Even your input to the mapper is also in the form of key and value. Okay, okay. So the programmer have to concentrate on mapper and reducer only. Everything is system is going to manage the parallel execution of the task and coordination between the tasks, because you need lots of coordination among all the components and all the tasks, so that everything is taken care by the framework, which we don't have to worry about it. We just have to write only one mapper and reducer function. Okay. So now the example is word count example. We are assuming that there is a web server. On the web server, logs are maintained, and I want to find out what are the popular URLs which are visited by the people. Okay, I'm having multiple pages on my web page. So my web server is creating the log, and every page has unique URL. And I want to see that which URL is visited for how many times. So I want to find out the frequency of URLs visited. This is one of the example of word count. Or if it is a document way, in case of Google, I want to check that how much time a particular term is occurring. So I want to calculate term frequency. In that case I want to find out word frequency. Okay. So let's assume that we are having a huge text document which cannot be stored on a single machine, or it will take lots of time, and I want to find out the frequency of the word in the file. Okay. So what you will do in case of normal conventional programming, what you will do is that you will give the input as a file name, and the file contains all the data. You may use a data structure like an array or hash table indexed by word, and what your program will do normally, it will start reading the file. It will read the first word, and it will add the word into the table or into the array, and it will make the count as one, that this word has occurred for first time. Now it will read the next word. Your program will read the next word, and it will try to search that word into this hash table or in the array. If the word is already there, then the uska count will be incremented, and if the word is not there, then it will traverse all the elements of hash table, or it will traverse all the elements of array, and if the word is not present, then it will make a new entry. So for each and every word, what you are doing is that in the for loop, you are accessing the entire data structure where you are storing your words and the frequencies. And if it is a new word occurring for the first time, you are making a new entry. So your output will go on increasing. And if your data input data is vast, and if your output itself is very vast, which cannot fit into the memory, then your RAM capacity will not be sufficient to store this frequency. Plus, searching that particular word into the hash table, or hash table will give you some efficient results. But if it is array, then it will take lots of time. Okay, so this approach is not useful. Now, a Linux programmer may think that he can use a command like this. Okay, instead of following the conventional way to find out the frequency of word in a file, what he will do is that he may use a command like this on the Linux, on the prompt. Okay, the command is words is a command. The input to the command is document.txt. The output of the command, this is a pipe symbol. So the output of this command is acting as input to the next command, that is the sort, and the output of sorting is going as input to the next command, that is unique minus C. Okay, so what is the meaning of this words command is that it takes the file as input and it outputs the words in it one per line. It is just splitting the file, entire file, and it's writing all the words on new line. So every word of this file is written on a new line. So every line contains a single word. So it is just splitting. It's performing the splitting operation, splitting the entire input in terms of words, one word occurring on one line. Okay, that is acting as input to the sort. So sort will sort this output, and uh, it will group all the same words one below the other. So same words will be occurring for like suppose there is a particular word the is occurring for 10 times. Then all 10 those will come together when the sorting will happen. So all those are together. So we can divide them into a block. So like this, it will do the sorting operation, and all the same words will appear one below the other. Okay, that is given as input to the next command, that is a unique command minus C. So unique means you just want to find out unique words of this input, which is the output of sort. And so the unique command is telling that give me unique words with the value, how many times it has occurred. So this will give the word with the frequency. So what you are doing is that instead of writing such a complicated program in Linux programming, you are just doing the job with the single line command. So the same concept is used in case of MapReduce. So this particular portion is done by the mapper. Then sorting and shuffling is done by the framework, and reducer will do this job of unique. Okay, so in our MapReduce word count problem, this mapper will try to get the every word, and it will assume that each word will have the frequency as one, and that will be shuffled, and then reducer will try to find out the frequency. Okay, we'll see now how to do that. Okay, so we can say that this Unix command is relevant with this MapReduce architecture. And just now I told you that mapper will scan the input file and it will extract all the words. Group by key will do the sorting or shuffling operation, and unique minus C will be done by the reducer. Normally, reducer performs aggregation, summarization, filtration, or transformation ka job. Okay. So this diagram will also will clear some of the doubts if you have. Here the map most of the time the mapper is having the complex logic or the business rules, or it is a costly code. So the mapper contains heavy code, but reducer is a lightweight code which will just perform aggregation, summation, maximum number, minimum number finding. So reducer's job is very light job, while mapper is the proper logic written by the program. So suppose your data, this is your big file, feedback.txt file, where I want to find out how many words are there. And so this file is divided into chunks, and maybe one chunk is allocated, like one mapper is acting on this chunk. Like this, every mapper is given one particular chunk of the file to execute, and then the intermediate results are created. So these are intermediate results which are in the form of keys and values. So here the different colors are used. Red color is used for showing a particular key. So this mapper is creating three keys: red, blue, and green. So here it is shown uniquely, but there is no guarantee. Some of the mapper may not produce any key, such as red key or. So the keys are generated. Now the keys are shuffled in such a way that all the red keys are going to a particular reducer, and all the this reducer is the code which is running on a particular data node. Mapper is running on different data nodes. So I can assume here, if I'm saying that one mapper or one reducer per machine, then I can say that here 5 plus 3, total 8 machines are there. So 8 data nodes are there. This 5 data nodes per mapper is running, and 3 data nodes per 3 reducers are running in parallel. But as such, there is no guarantee. Even one machine can be given two mappers, or one machine may be executing a mapper and reducer, or another machine is executing only mapper. So that is, there is no guarantee in this architecture. So here the shuffling is done in such a way that the red keys are going to the red reducer, or blues are shuffled, and they are reaching to this reducer. Reducer is taking this input, and it is performing some summation or aggregation and generating the output. And all this output is combined together to represent it as a single file. So your input is in the form of a file and output is in the form of a file, and the file is sequentially accessed. Okay, that you have to remember. Okay, again the same thing I'm showing with the help of a diagram if there are any doubts. Like suppose here this keys and value is the input to the mapper, intermediate keys and values are created. This is the entire key and value is the input. One key and value is input to this mapper, and it has created two intermediate keys and values. Where here this key and value is the mapper to another function, another mapper, which may create one key and value. Like this, suppose this is creating the another key and value. So like this, all the mappers will run in parallel, and then this intermediate keys and values are shuffled, and they are grouped by key. So group by operation of SQL. So same keys will come together, and that will create the key and value called list. So with group by operation, like for this color key, all the values uh, are in the form of a list of values. Like list, this is a list. Here it is key and value, but here it is output of shuffling is key and a list of value. So like this here the different colors are used to show different keys. So here only one key and all the values, one key, all the values. Here there are multiple keys. Okay, then that is given as input to reducer, which will perform some summation operation on this particular values in case of word count, and it will create the final key and value. Uh, every reducer will create. So the output of reducer is again now here the key is not repeated. So here the key is like a database ka primary key where the key is occurring only once. Even at this place also the key is a unique key. But here for intermediate keys and values, the keys are repeated. They are not acting as a primary key here. Here the keys are repeated for intermediate key value pair. Here it is acting as a unique key for the output of shuffler and in output of reducer. The keys are unique keys. Okay, so in the exam, you have to take this such kind of example, and you have to draw this diagram to show the working of MapReduce for word count exercise. Okay, so with respect to the diagram, you just assume that this is your input file, which contain three lines. Okay, so I'm assuming that three blocks are created. Block A, B, and C are created, and they are stored on three different data nodes. Now the mapper is executed. Now the mapper is taking this first line as the mapper has received the first block with the first line. So input to the mapper is the name of the document, like key is the name of the document, and value is inside the block, or here in this case it is a line. Okay. So the mapper के लिए the key is the name, and value can be a line from the document, or a tuple from the document, or or some partial block of the document, or multiple lines. Okay, so this is this is acting as an input. So in this diagram, the first line is the first block uh, given to this mapper. Now this mapper is acting on this line, and it is separating all the words on new line. So it is extracting the first word, and by default it is giving the value as 1. So this is the intermediate key value pair generated from mapper. Okay, this is given as input to the mapper. Mapper has created this output, and in the output it has got the first line, and it has divided, or it has extracted every word from the line, from this. So doing this in Python is very easy. So get the word, and by default the value is 1. So in the intermediate key value pair, always the value is 1 for each and every key. And if you see, the keys are repeated over here. The car is occurring for 2 times. On the second line, car is there for 2 times. So car 1, first car is 1, second car is 1. So here the keys are there, but keys are repeated and they are not unique keys. And they are having the value by default as 1 as per the logic. Okay. Now this keys are shuffled and they are going as input to this reducer. Okay. But in order to improve the performance of your system, sometimes the programmer also writes the combiner. So combiner and mapper are residing on the same data node. This combiner and mapper, they are residing on the same data node. So after mapper, the output is can be given to the combiner, which will combine these values. Okay, so you may extend your mapper and you write combiner also, which will execute at the mapper data node. So here there is no the combiner is not working much, but in this case, wherever the keys are repeated, this combiner will have the same logic of reducer, but it will do the same kind of operation. And it will, instead of having uh, like for 2 times the key, it will add the both the values, and it will have the new value for the same key. It will see that all which keys are repeated. For every key it will check the value, and here it is doing addition only, so it will create a new value. Okay, so that will be the output of the combiner. Okay, so the combiner is optional. Even if you don't write the combiner, it is not a problem. But why combiner is written down? Because if you don't write this combiner here, when the intermediate output is shuffled, then this car is shuffled for 2 times. So for one first key and then for second key from the same location. So instead of that, if it is combined here, the output is combined here, only one signal is transferred. So to reduce the traffic or to save the network bandwidth, this combiner is used. So mapper and combiner ka output is key 2 and key 2 and v2, like key, intermediate key and value. Input, suppose input is key 1 v1, the output is key 2 v2, k2 v2, and the keys need not be unique in this case. Okay. Now these are the 3 statements which you can remember about combiner, because especially on combiner also there is a question asked in the exam, where you can say that some of the tasks of the reducer can be assigned to the combiner. Some of the tasks of reducer can be assigned to the combiner, because here it is going to add before. So some partial addition is done by the combiner only at the mapper's location. And instead of sending all the values to the reducer, some value can be calculated at mapper side for some keys. And this reduces input output operations between mapper and reducer. So it is just for to reduce the number of signals or keys transmitted from one process to the other process, to reduce the traffic and to save the bandwidth. Okay. Now the shuffling is done by this infrastructure of Hadoop, and the shuffler's output is the input to the reducer. Now what shuffler will do, the framework will do, is that it will do the group by operation for key. So all the keys, if you see here, the all the keys like and the beer for from this location, and if there is any other beer from any machine that is transferred here, or suppose car 2 and car from this location, so car 2 comma 1 is here, or deer from multiple locations is transferred and going here. Like this, the keys are grouped by and shuffled, and that is acting as input to the reducer. In this diagram, I am assuming there are 2 reducers. Number of reducers are normally less than number of mappers. So 2 reducers will get these 2 keys here, and here this reducer is getting 2 different keys. And then the job of reducer is to do just the addition of this is the list. From this list, it will do the addition of all the values of the list, and it is creating a new value. So that new value is nothing but the frequency of the word. So like this, the final output will be created for every word. And this final output, so reducer is performing summation, and output is merged with the single file, and there is only a sequential access to the file. The file can be accessed only in the sequential manner. So we can say that this mapper and combiner are executed at the task tracker of a particular node, data node, and reducer is also a task initiated by the task tracker on a particular data. And finally the word count is done. This is the algorithm. So writing pseudocode is nothing. You don't have to worry about the syntax or grammar of the language. So if you see, it's very easy here. This map function is taking input as a key and value. So in this case, key is the document name, matlab the block which is received by that particular mapper. So block number A, and the value is the text of the document. This value is the actual block, file name, and the actual block. So what is the logic here? That for every word W in value, for every like value means your block data actually block A of the file feedback.txt file. So in that block, for every word W in the value, so iterator is used here. For every W in value, uh, just return that word with the count 1. So this is the intermediate output. So it is just taking the document, extracting the word, and assigning the value 1 to the word. This is the pseudocode for map. Now reducer, what reducer is doing? So programmer is going to write only this much. So reducer will take the word and the list of values. See the example before, like here, this reducer is taking this key as a car, and it is having a list of values. So it can be a list. So reducer will take the key, and the value is the list of values. So where the key is a word and values is the list of some values, and then we are using some count iterator over the values. By using that, we can say that for each value in the values, add that value into the results. And always we say that here it is returning the value as 1. So all the ones, or if combiner has combined and it has given 2, that count will be added to the result. The result was initialized to 0 before. And finally, you get the result which will be returned by the reducer. The reducer is also returning the key and value. This result is a frequency.
Ma'am,
Uh, yeah,
in the previous example, could you explain how the shuffler values are generated?
this shuffler part. Okay. The
For
shuffle.
example, how you get there 1, 1 or river 1, 1.
Okay. In this here, I've taken this ready-made image for this particular image with the reference I've mentioned here. So here they have done some spelling mistakes, which I'm realizing it now. But car ke liye there is no spelling mistake. So I'll explain with respect to car. Okay. So this shuffler the shuffler is executed by the controller. Okay, master controller. Means it is done by the Hadoop framework. Hadoop framework का एक component है master controller. So that is doing this shuffling का job. Shuffling is nothing but it is group by operation of SQL command. If you are using any SQL command and group by करते हैं तो क्या होता है? All for a particular key, all the values will come together. Okay, so it is similar to the group by function. And now here what is happening is that suppose this car is a word. Suppose these are 3 different blocks, block A, B and C. In the these are 3 blocks. This block A, B and C. Now in this block, this every word is removed, and it has given the value as 1. So we'll see for the car. So car is in the second block, and it is occurring for 2 times. So its value है 1 1, and then in the third block C maybe car is there for 1 time. Okay, so this is the output of mapper. Now this is combiner is optional. So combiner has suppose. So combiner has combined both the values, and it has created a new key value. Okay, these are all keys and values, na, intermediate keys and values. So it will create a new value car2. Okay, so car2 iske paas hai. So this is a key car, and car is also occurring in this block also. And what is our objective, that in this entire file I want to find out how many times car is there, or how many times every word ka frequency I want to find out. So I want to see, like suppose I am focusing on car, so car ka frequency kya hai, that I want to find out. So this mapper may it is saying that in this particular chunk car is there for 2 times, and this mapper is saying that whatever the chunk I have operated on, in that car ka value hai 1. Now here the shuffler will shuffle all these keys in such a way that all the car keys will reach to one particular reducer. So see here, from this block the car 1 is traveling here, it is coming to this reducer, and this car key is going here, and now car is from this particular block, it is the value is 2 comma 1. So list of values are created for the same key. They are shuffled in such a way that all the same keys will reach to the same reducer. So this is so like suppose a beer word is there, so it is occurring for one. For one in this block, it is for one time. There may be some other mapper. From that mapper, that key value has traveled and it has reached here. So it is beer 1 comma 1, or car 2 is going here and car 1 is going here, and it is car 2 comma 1. Or deer is this key, deer ka key is going here. Then it is here also. So from this place also, third block se bhi hai. So from the first block and from the third block, the values are 1 comma 1. Or if river is the word, so it is traveling from this, or it is shuffled from this machine to the reducer for this. This is a queue for this reducer, input for this reducer, and out this part is the output of the shuffler. So river यहाँ से इधर आया shuffle, okay. This river also has reached here, and this river also reached here. So they are shuffled with respect to the keys, in such a way that one key is going to one reducer. And now here these keys are unique, so they are not repeated. So one key with the list of values. Here it is repeated. All the keys are repeated with every key having the value as 1. But here now the shuffling is done in such a way that you are having only a key occurring only once with the list of values. And I'm saying that suppose this reducer ke liye the input is beer and car, so 2 keys. This reducer is taking 2 keys and it is working on that. Or you can assume that there are 4 reducers. Every reducer is executing, taking this input, and it's doing the job of addition. So reducer will is just looking into the list of values, and it is doing addition. So 1 comma 1 2 times, so 2, either 2, either it will make car as 3. So this way they are working. So
Okay.
shuffling, understood. Now, shuffling is done by the framework in such a way that all the keys will reach to the same reducer, and values are combined together. Instead of a single value, it is a list of value now.
Okay, ma'am.
Huh? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So that is what is written over here. That values is a list of values, and for every count, this v in the values, you are going to add it into the result, and finally result is the frequency. Okay, so this is the algorithm or pseudo code that you can write in the exam. So this MapReduce environment, it takes care of partitioning the input data, scheduling, group by operation, then handling the failures of the machines, managing the IPC or inter-machine communication. So partitioning, scheduling, group by, failure handling, and inter-machine communication is handled by MapReduce. Okay, your input and output is in the form of distributed file. Intermediate results are in the local machine where the mapper and reducer workers are working, and the output of one phase is input to the next phase. So that way the data is flowing. And now there are some failures which may occur. MapReduce is also handling the failures. So suppose your master node takes care of coordination. Okay, and master means your job tracker, and reducer is executed by the task tracker. So the master means your task tracker will and this job tracker, master node is a job tracker. So job tracker will keep track of all the tasks, and every task is having a particular status, like it is idle task means it is in the queue, it is not it is in progress means it is currently in execution, or it is over. So idle task gets scheduled as workers becomes available. When जैसे ही worker or task tracker is free, it will take the idle task and will start executing. Or in process task is currently in execution. And whenever the task is over, the task tracker is informing the job tracker about the completion and location of the intermediate file. And then the job tracker will coordinate, and it will initiate the shuffler to shuffle the keys and make them available to the reducer where the reducer is there. So master pushes this information to the reducer. So this coordination is done by the master node. And master node pings the workers periodically to detect the failures, or the workers are sending the heartbeats, but it may, if it is not receiving any heartbeat, then it may ping and it will try to detect the failure. So in this scenario, if your master is failed, then there is no way, because one master, matlab job tracker. So per cluster there is one job tracker which is running in its own JVM, and if it is failed, then all the tasks at the slaves are halted, and then we have to restart the entire job again. Okay, so now there are some improvements, or improvements are done, but basically for the first normal way, if the master is failed, then the job is restarted. Okay, but that is a rare case because it is the machine, uh, and so the task is aborted and client is notified with that, and client will have to restart the job. Okay, but if the worker is failed, then it will identify what is the status of that particular task, and the reducer tasks are notified when that, and it will restart on the some other machine. Okay, for the reduce worker, for the map. Now there are two different tasks: map task and reducer task. If the map task is failed, then the reducer is notified about it, because about that the new mapper is started on some other machine. Okay, if the mapper machine is failed, then the job tracker will reinitiate the mapper task on some other machine, and it will inform the reducer. But if the reducer is failed, then reducer is restarted. No need to inform anyone. Okay. So I'll just summarize this again. The client submits the job to the job tracker, means on the master node, and job tracker keeps track of mapper and reducer task on the task tracker nodes, like worker nodes. Now, if your master is failed, then the task the job is to be restarted. But if the worker is mapper worker is failed, then the master can restart that mapper task on some other machine, and it will notify the reducer also. But if the reducer is failed, it will just restart it on some other machine. So this way is a basic, like it is not exactly in detail, but overall this is happening. So how many mapper and reducer jobs should be there? Like our reducer should be smaller than mapper. And so this is about combiner, which I told you already. Okay, so there are multiple applications in link analysis, graph processing, machine learning algorithm, where we want to find out the frequency of something, some URL occurring for any number of times. So this is extensively used. This word counting problem is extensively used in multiple applications of analysis. So link analysis means pages which are visited, and from where the user has visited to this particular page, and where is traveling after this page, or how much time he has spent. So this is about the hyperlink or page ranking and graph processing, machine learning. This type of word counting is extensively used. Okay. So we will stop here. Now, now I want all of you to just go through the practical list which is already posted into the. You can go through the classroom where the list of experiments is already posted, and you can plan about how to go about it. So we can use PySpark or Hive or Pig commands and execute it. The first experiment is about understanding Hadoop ka commands. What are the Hadoop commands? To see the file, store the file, or renaming the file, or copy it from one location to another location. So, so I think we can stop now for today's lecture. Okay, so tomorrow's lecture or next lecture, I'll start with the matrix multiplication problem.
Okay, ma'am. Please upload the